I'm literally sitting here in my bedroom right now with freaking butterflies. I'm literally nervous. I don't know why I'm fucking nervous for this. Little breathing techniques. Okay, let's jump right into this. What's going on, guys? Marsh here for the Marshal Kramer podcast. Yes, I've changed it up once again. Please do not comment on that. Don't give me too much shit. What I say is this is gonna stay forever. I promise this is it. This is the final version. It's what it is. Basically, what it is, it's now the Marshal Kramer show. Why is it the Marshal Kramer show? Because I get so bored. Right, the first one was Happy Campers, second one turned into Willfully Optimistic, and I'm gonna fix all that. So like, if a new subscriber comes in, or a new person comes in, new listener, what am I saying? A new listener comes in, and is like, yo, hey, what's going on here? I've listened to the same, subscribed to the same podcast, but I've listened to 3 different shows. Well, here's the explanation for you, buddy. There has been 3 different shows. I'm gonna fix that. So yeah, it's gonna be this, and like I said, I get really freaking bored. That's what I do. I get really bored, of a certain topic. I can only do so much of one thing. And it's just, then my mind starts to wander and I want to do something else. Yes, I do have commonalities. One, I love making videos. I am super talkative, super high energy, and always loves to be in front of a camera. Health, always going to be around health and wellness, always going to be around that. And then comedy. I always like to have fun, I like to laugh, and I like to make people laugh. Who doesn't like that shit? So those are always going to be within commonalities of every single video, every single skit, every single podcast, anything I make. Those are all going to be the core. From there, what the topics are going to be about? Oh my God, we may range from it's just things I think about and I talk about. Man. I mean, the podcast is going to be loose. If you my YouTube videos are kind of going to be interlinked. So within a week, I'm probably going to talk about the same thing no matter what types of video I make. If I make just a YouTube video talking about it, or if I make a skit and trying to make it funny, trying to make fun of it or something, not fun of it, but laugh with it, you know what I'm saying? Just have a little fun. If it's something like that, I want it to all revolve around the same thing for that week, because I want to really dive in on something. I don't want to just half-ass it. Yes, there's a lot of competition out there in these days. Yes, there's a lot of people. However, I don't think there's a lot of competition for quality work. I truthfully don't. I think most of this work is half-ass and just garbage. There's a lot of people who have a lot of time, but only use a little bit because they just want the views, likes, the popularity, XYZ. Myself, I'm literally pointing to myself why, I'll get into that later in the episode here, of why I stepped away for 6 freaking months. That was a huge thing. I just was lazy, I was inauthentic, and I think that's what most of the content in this world is. I think that's what the entire, almost the entire app of TikTok is very inauthentic, they take 5 seconds of their time and they think it's worth everybody to watch. I think it's ridiculous. Anyway, so I want to dive in on that. I want to dive in on one certain topic, and then, do a podcast about it, make some videos about it, make some skits about it, for a whole week. But my podcast will be very loose, very freeform, just like this. So that's what you like. My podcast, I'm here to entertain you, talk about the topic of the week a little bit, talk about myself, make you laugh. That's what it's for. If you want information and where I'm gonna do a lot of fact checking, I'm gonna do a lot of peer reviewed sources and whatnot, I'm gonna do a lot of research. That's gonna be cut and edited on my YouTube. So go there for that. And then if I want to make some comedy videos about that certain topic, which I love to do, and I got some friends that are I'm going to be collabing with and linking with and making videos like that, that'll be on my other YouTube channel, Marsh. I have 2 YouTube channels now. That used to be 4, it started 5. We're filing it all down. I'm going to get into why, but we're filing it all down. We got 2. We got Marshal Kramer, and then we got Marshal Kramer and Marsh. You can call me whatever you want to. You can call me Marshall or Marsh. I prefer Marsh. Most people call me Marsh. I don't give a fuck. Call me Marshmallow. I don't care. I'm comfortable with my sexuality, boy. I ain't afraid. You can call me what you want. Anyway, what I was saying was, those are the 2 channels right now. Go subscribe to them if you like. Marsh is going to be my comedy stuff. That's all going to be comedy is going to be in every video, duh. But purely skits and comedy stuff going to be over on that Marsh channel. And then the Marshal Kramer channel is going to have those edits I'm talking about, where it's going to be a lot of like diving into a topic, research style. So you're going to walk away learning a lot. That'll be on the Marshal Kramer channel. The YouTube visuals, the podcast visuals will also be on the Marshal Kramer channel. And that's basically it. Marshal Kramer. Why Marshal Kramer and not Willfully Optimistic or XYZ? Again, I just get so bored. I'm still a very energetic, positive, and upbeat guy, very optimistic guy. I'm still a happy camper, but like, I don't want to always talk about willfully optimistic, or not willfully. I don't want to talk about optimistic stuff all the time. Sometimes I literally want to talk about, I don't know, whatever, dude. Like, I don't know what to talk about. I have no idea. I literally am blanking. I just want to talk about whatever. I get bored of talking about the same thing all the time. And I hate putting myself in a box. I literally preach all the time to like my family about, don't put me in a box. Don't put me in a box. I hate when you guys put me in a box. Like, and then here I am, literally putting myself in a box, fixing myself onto a fitness channel, a Marshal Kramer, AudioSmilez podcast channel, and then XYZ. I hate that. No, not no more. If you want that, if you want a very specific thing and you know what you're gonna get, go to somebody else. Like I said, you're gonna get the core from me. You're gonna get health related. You're gonna get comedy related. I'm obviously making videos and be in front of the camera. Like, I love that shit. That's very common. Health and comedy, that's the core. But I don't know. From there, health and comedy both are very wide subjects that I can go into. So basically, that's what it was too. And then like listening to like Joe Rogan talk about and tell people that to do a podcast on his show. When he tells people who come on their show to do their own podcast, hey, what's your name? What's your name? What should it be about? And he's like, yo, just name it the Marshal Kramer Show, the Tim Dillon Show. That's where basically, I love Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon's my comedian right now, where I've fucking been spamming his shit. Guy is smarter than most people, that's for sure. And it's just called the Tim Dillon Show. So I was like, dude, the Marshal Kramer Show, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be about whatever. I hope to get guests back in here too. You may notice right now, oh my God, Marsh, where's the mic? Where's the mic, Marsh? Where's the headphones, Marsh? Let's get into that, bro. It's gone. It's fucking gone. So, why are we to the Marshal... From the end of Willfully Optimistic in July to right now is December 21st, the Marshal Kramer Show. How did we get here? 6 months of nothing. Basically what it was, I'm going to talk about my sensitivity right here, man. And I've been working... Whatever. One thing at a time, Marsh. I was at an event... Somebody that I really, really like, somebody that I went to high school with, an older person that I'm very fond of. We ran into each other, haven't seen each other in years. And so I initiated it, we shook hands, and I was like, hey man, what are you up to? What you been doing? How's everything going? How you feeling? XYZ, tell me about yourself. And, from 50 seconds later after we shook our hands, he was done answering all my questions. And then his first question to me was, how's your podcast, man? And like the way he said it, the first thing he said, his body language, didn't look me in the eyes, really, just kind of like, think you're better than us? Like, XYZ, I'm just like, I was so thrown off by it. And, some people be like, why were you, like, we left 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, I was with my mother, we went out to eat, and I was, like, talking the whole time, I was like, that's what I was fixated on. After 2 hours of talking, she's like, I don't know why you are so fixated on that. Why does that really, really matter? And I'm like, I don't know, but it really, really does. And then we got into a lot of different things. And I started asking her, and then I stopped. I was already thinking about stopping the podcast for a while because, like I said in the beginning, I was getting very inauthentic. I was not practicing what I preached. You know what I'm saying? And I was like living a fake life. I was a facade. And I felt pressure to talk about things that I wasn't optimistic at the time. So why didn't I want to just, I wish I should have transitioned and talked about different things. I'm never going to sit here and complain about, oh my God, here I am, I'm depressed, or XYZ. I just don't feel that's the internet. You should have special friends through that. Personally, I feel like you shouldn't go on the internet and just rant about that. However, the only time I think you should do that, and I really do think you should, not just it's okay if you should, I actually think you should, is if you have grown. You've progressed. You've gotten through it. You're not on a high, but you're out of your low, right? And then you're talking about how you got out of your low, because that could really help somebody. That's why I started at Happy Campers and Willfully Optimistic in the beginning, in the first place, and because somebody did that for me all the time. Like this certain people on Instagram. I shouldn't say somebody, but like certain people on Instagram and YouTube, like they talked about their struggles, and now they're doing well. They're doing better. They're not overly optimistic, toxic, or positive to a toxic degree, they're just like, I'm doing better, man. I'm vibing. I've figured things out, you know. I've come up from my lows, and that's like, you know, it's helping people. So it's letting somebody know you can do it too, XYZ. That's great. But I think when you're immediately in it, like I was, I don't think you should just bitch to people. Me personally, I don't want no one doing it to me. I don't want no one coming to me and complaining all the time. It gets really sickening. Unless you're my close friend, like, that's different. That's what close friends are for, to rant to, not to the internet. Unless you're providing them entertainment, comedic value, and something to take away from it. That's the only time it's funny. Like Tim Dillon. Oh, I love that guy. So yeah, it messed me up. So I stopped. And then within that time, COVID, I got super lazy. I started getting better, but I started getting super lazy. But I wasn't to where I wanted to be again to even get in front of the camera and talk about things. And then I got super busy with school. School started because I stopped in July, and then school started end of August. So just, 6 weeks later, I was going to take a month break. And then, 6 weeks later, so 2 weeks after that supposed month, school started. I had 17 credits. I was super busy with that. Dude, I even missed 2 tests this semester. Like, at the end of finals, I realized I missed 2 tests in the middle of, from 2 different classes, in the middle of the semester. Thankfully, dope teacher, he just let me do it for full credit. But literally, I was like, what? I was just so discombobulated. 2020 has thrown my entire life upside down. Completely new living situations, new family situations. I got my grandma living with me. I'm her caretaker now. Literally, so we share a big, beautiful walkout basement together. But yeah, she lives right through this wall, and I'm a caretaker, so, life is throwing me through a loop. And so then, yeah, I just wasn't really focused on myself, wasn't focused on getting better, didn't even think about getting in front of the camera. Going back to the equipment, it was gone. I sold it. I literally was to the point where I was like, I'm just so focused on making money and getting through college right now. I sold it all off for, 75, 80% of what I bought it for. So I'm like, damn, all right, I got a chunk of change. And all I kept really was my Rogue mic here. And then, really, that's it. This camera that I'm recording on is my father's camcorder, which is dope now that I don't have to do it on my iPhone, which I need now because I need to plug that into my Rode mic, because I don't have the fancy Shure SM7Bs anymore, but I'm going to. I got to get them all back. But I got to do some work first. Got to make some moolah. So yeah, I stepped away. What I did in that time, though, and what's made me come back and just realize things now, and maybe what's going to be the title of this podcast is, I've stopped caring. I've stopped caring what people think. I really have. And it was through talking to my mother a lot, like really asking her and my parents, just like asking them about myself as a child, like trying to understand my psychology, trying to understand my early nature, and then, what happened to my nurture to make me feel this way. Obviously, I do think, my mom talked about all the time, which we talked about that day at the restaurant after this run-in with this person. And she was like, she's like, I used to talk to myself all the time. I used to say, did I not give him enough attention? Did I not give him enough love? Which I totally credit her for doing. First off, she's the most amazing mother. I have the most amazing parents. I love them to death. They did everything they possibly could. I love them. And I think it's amazing that she even would talk to me about this. So she's like, yeah, I just, I would question myself that, because, dude, I would always try to be the center of attention. I would be like doing like the hump things when I was 10 years old, 9 years old, in the middle of, the party with all the freaking adults. I'm just like, yeah, like, what am I doing? Like, just literally always trying to get their attention. And I know a lot of kids do that too. I was watching Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey. Phenomenal movie. It was the first time I actually watched it all the way through. But one time when they were erasing his memory of him as a child, he was like, I just wanted to see me. He was just like a little boy. He's like, I just wanted to see me. He's like, it's crazy how strong the urge is. I just wanted to pick me up. Like, it was hilarious. Like, dude, I felt like that, man. It was crazy how strong the urge was, bro. Just for attention, and it carried into high school, and then in 8th grade, like I've talked about many times on the podcast, that exacerbated it. I really got into popularity, and then it just continued, and I started shifting down, but I wasn't getting to the point where I really could just be me, right? I was starting to get better after I graduated high school, started learning a little bit more, but it still was the point where I cared too much, just about what too much people thought of me, and that's what I had to learn. And my mom wished that for me forever. She's like, oh my God. And she can really tell. She's like, you've really changed. She's like, I can tell when people talk to you about certain things. Like, I can read your nonverbals. You really don't seem to be fazed by things. Things don't really, you don't really have FOMO anymore. XYZ. You don't really care if somebody disagrees with you or doesn't like you or XYZ, Like I said, I try to be respectful And then I try to be respectful 100% of the time. I try to be kind as much as I can. And then, I just try to be respectful and kind to people. And outside of that, you just really can't care. And I want to look this up. I looked this up on Google, and literally the first thing that came up was, not caring what people think of you does not mean not caring about people. It simply means that you do not let others' opinions affect your self-worth. And that was it. It just means you do not let what other people think of you affect your own self-esteem. Who cares, man? Who really, really cares? To me, like I said, as long as I'm being respectful 100% of the time. And why I say 100% of the time respectful and like with kindness is as far as possible, because you can be respectful and not kind. However, kindness is a form of respect. You're always going to be respectful to someone you're kind to, right? It's a form of respect. But you can always be respectful. You can respectfully disagree. You can respectfully call people out. You can respectfully intervene. You can do all the different things. That's not kind at all. Calling people out is not kind. Intervening is not kind. But you can be respectful about it. Expressing your opinions and telling people that how you don't think their opinions is really the way it is, right? That's not kind at all. But there's a respectful way to go about it. So as long as I'm respectful to people, then I just really don't care. I really don't care. It does not affect my self-esteem if they don't like me anymore. And then another thing, man, is I joined counseling. I had to with one of my classes. It was free for school, and I had to do 3 of them for my health promotion class. And then I had to do like a paper about it. And then after those 3 were done, bi-weekly. So bi-weekly, yeah, every 2 weeks. I was thinking it was twice a week. No. But bi-weekly, I would go and talk to this person for 30 minutes. And it was amazing. What I was also taking a communication listening class at that time, and we were learning about, really what it looks like and what it really means to listen to somebody. And holy moly, like, this guy did it. I was like, it was the first time I sat for 30 minutes with somebody, and someone who really just talked about me. Never pushed his narrative on me. Never, he always answered with a question, but it wasn't to the point where it was like really, it wasn't always a question. Like, he would recap in a really good listening skill. He'd be like, so how you're feeling is, you think A is making you feel sad, and how you think you can go about fixing that is by doing B? Do you think B will actually help by fixing your low of A? And I'd be like, yeah, it would allow me to go deeper. And then I was like, so basically he would ask the question. He'd be like, oh, so this is how you're feeling. So I'm getting this right? This is correct? Is this what you were trying to convey to me? Is this your perspective? And it made me feel so much better. And we got into a deep dive into it. And what really made me steer, all right, I've always been to health, right? And there's basically within health, there's like fitness and wellness. Basically, they all stem from health. And you could argue that health stems from wellness, or vice versa with all of them, I don't know. But I really quit the fitness industry and really got into the wellness industry because he was a wellness coach. That's what he really taught me, because he had this huge chart, which was like, not a chart. It was like, rate yourself from 0 to 10. How do you feel financially? How do you feel socially? How do you feel spiritually? How do you feel physically? How do you feel mentally, emotionally, XYZ? And, I'd rank myself every beginning of the session. And whenever I'd rank myself lower on the end of the scale, a 6 or a 5, that's what we'd talk about that week. That's what we would work on. And again, he would be a really good listener. And again, so I used to be a really big fitness guy. If you didn't know about that, that was all my channels. And like, dude, that was a really bodybuilding and powerlifting are really unhealthy sports. Very unhealthy. Most of those individuals are very unhealthy individuals. They look like sculpture. They perform like bears, but internally, most of them are fucked up. That's why people die all the time. And I made a video about YouTube about why I left the fitness industry, and I went more into detail about that, provided more facts. Like I said, it's more of that edited video. It's about 9 minutes. Check that out. I'm not going to get into a huge rant there, but basically, the huge gist is they set false expectations and they lie. Most people in the fitness industry, it's dead ass. Like, most people in the fitness industry take steroids. They have to. To most bodies that you look at in Hollywood, TV shows, they're not natural bodies. They just can't. I would probably argue all of them, professional sports, D1 athletes in Hollywood. I would probably argue all of them. But it really comes down to their transitions and like their transformations. And like how long were they and how short were they? Like, it's like you can see a body like, oh, that's a natural body, but like, how quick did he get there? Oh, he got that body in 6 months? Nah, you can't naturally get that. You can get that body natural in 4 years, but not in 6 months. So, a lot of logistics and variables go into all that stuff. But like, that was a huge thing that fucked with my mental health. One, that was the huge thing I attached to my identity. And going back to being caring what people think of me. I really cared how people looked at my body, how big they thought I was. It meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to my self-esteem. And realizing that I was in the health, I was a community health major, I was in a health field, right? And I was preaching health to people, yet I didn't really realize that I was doing the most unhealthy things. Eating like that, and then in order to get where they need to be, like I said, being unnatural, taking those steroids, taking HGH, insulin, whatever you need to do, man, SARMs, all of that stuff is really, really bad for you. Really freaking bad for you. So I was like, how can I be over here preaching to people about being healthy, and I'm literally being one of the most unhealthy people on the human earth, again, because my identity was attached to this, and I did not know this. I was in this industry, I was doing that fitness stuff for years before I noticed that. I was like, why am I not looking like XYZ? That guy started a year ago. I've been doing this for 4. Why don't I not look like him? Oh, when I learned, the more I read, the more I learned about stuff, the more schooling I did, I was like, oh, he's not natural. He cannot be like that. The human body cannot do that naturally. And that fucked me up, setting these expectations that, Marshall, you can be like this. And I was attaching self-worth, self-esteem, self-actualization to achieving this goal of being ripped and huge. But then yet at the same time preaching health and XYZ, and I thought they were the same thing, but they're not. Once I had that awakening and that epiphany, I was like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong fields. And I had an identity crisis. I had not midlife, I'm 22 years old, and I'm like I have a quarter life crisis right now. Or I had it, but then I just really figured things out. So listening to this guy listen to me, watching this guy listen to me, and then going through the wellness wheel, the wellness chart, and really looking at all aspects of wellness, I was like, oh, I'm actually more interested in the wellness part of life, right? I'm more interested in sleep and nutrition than I am into exercise. I think exercise for 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day, every day. I do think every day. Plenty of videos on that, plenty of stuff. I'll get into that in the future, but that's how I believe. And work hard, make sure that's 4 to 5 times a week, that's vigorous and very high intensity, 2 days a week, maybe low, but always staying active. And then outside that, I really don't think exercise is really that different. Whether you do powerlifting, CrossFit, bodybuilding, running, jogging, whatever, to better your wellness, I really don't think it really matters. Obviously, those things matter if you're looking to build more strength, you're looking to build more cardiovascular endurance, you're looking to build more muscle size. Obviously, that matters then. But you're talking about wellness in general, bettering your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health in general, just feeling well, other fields, it doesn't really matter. Exercise doesn't really matter. But I think sleep really does, no matter, even if you're doing running, lifting, or cross-training. I think sleep really matters, and it's pretty much similar. I think diet matters, and outside of how much you eat, I think it's pretty much similar to feeling good. I think diet is at a core level, it's very basic, and then it just really depends on who you are as an individual, how much you eat or how much you don't eat. Right? That is kind of the variability, and then but that's really it. And so then I really got into that more field. Like I said, that's what I'm going to cover. I'm in the health field, but I'm in the wellness field. There's not going to be a lot of exercise stuff. I'm just not huge on preaching specific types of exercise. I don't care to learn about exercise. I don't care to learn. I like physiology, but I don't care to learn about exercise anymore. It's just not interesting to me. I like to learn about nutrition and overall wellness. Nutrition specifically. If they think of those big 3, you think of exercise, sleep, and nutrition. Nutrition specifically, if you can't tell on my Instagram and videos these last few years, it's been nutrition. And then I like to learn about sleep, overall wellness. That's what those videos are going to be like. And just bettering that and, and figuring out that's my new identity. That's what the target I'm trying to do. Realizing I enjoy comedy, and that's why I'm going to add that into other things. Also do those videos. I don't know where I got on this rant here and kind of how I got up. I literally have no idea. But so then I got back into it. I just working on that and listening to him, trying to feel better about myself, and learning that I just really need to stop caring. And like I said, not stop caring about other people. I love people. I love my friends. Just really caring about, I got really good friends. That's the thing, man. I didn't value my really good friends. Should I say their names? I feel like other people will miss out. They'll like it, but like, damn, I don't know. But like, yeah, people like Frankie, people like Noah, people like Austin, people like Jose, people like that. People like that. There's more people if, You know, I don't want to think anyone left out, but like people like that, I didn't value them enough, man. I didn't value their love for me enough, man. I wanted more from other people. I wanted more validation from other people. And I'm like, these are great people. These are people who really care about me, people who really cheer me on, people who really like care about me. My mother, my father, my siblings, my grandmother, now that she lives with me, she every day just lifts me up, tells me how great I am, XYZ. She says, grandma, baby. And like, that was great. That was great. And then realizing and valuing them more. And I don't know where that came over. Maybe it started with my mother and, you know, just getting into deep conversations with her and then seeing her, that talking to her helped me think better and feel better. And I'm like, wow, I value our conversations. And maybe that led to me valuing deeper all of these relationships that I don't think we specifically talked about it in any conversations. But, you know, I started to value my close quarters. Right? I talk about all the time. My close, you know, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Right? I'd rather have 4 really close friends than 100 fake friends. And I started valuing them more. But I didn't. I said that. I said that, but I never really felt that. I thought that way and I wanted to be that way, but I never really felt that until now. And yes, counseling sessions, many conversations with my mother, many videos, a lot of workouts and meditation, XYZ, just to like feel this way. And like, I wish that for anybody, bro. Like, love your people, care for your people, care about your people. You know, be respectful and kind. I guess that's what I'm going for. But then at the end of the day, man, do you, bro. Like 2020, that's what it really was, man. It just taught me like, yo, you gotta live your own life, man. This life is for you. I see some of my friends from high school that I hang out with, man, are depressed as shit. They're so freaking down in the dumps. You know why I think it is? I think because they're like everybody in this world. They're living the expectations in the life set on other people. They're living through a social mirror. That the pressures and expectations that are coming externally, they're not coming from the south. I want to do something else, right? I hear other people tell me like, oh, I just love when I used to do XYZ. I'm like, well, why don't you do that now? Or at least apply that same mindset to the things you're doing now. But nobody's taught that, and you know, nobody has somebody that, you know, I don't think I really had somebody, or maybe at least I didn't think that. Before this wellness coach guy, I didn't think I had people that would actually sit down and listen to me and really care about me. I never wanted to bother people with my troubles. And now, you know, I'm like, yo, there's none of this exchange. Like, oh, if I sit down and they listen to me, then I'll listen to them in the future. No, none of this shit. I love my mom. My mom loves me. When I'm feeling bad, I want her to raise me up. I asked her that. You know, sometimes it may weigh on her. Sometimes it's a lot, maybe, you know. But I love her, and I hope she loves me. And I know she loves me. And I hope that she just is always there for me. And she says that too. She's like, never feel like you're bad then. She knows that for me too. If she ever needs me, right, I'll be there for that. And so do my best friends. You know, and having that wellness coach made me realize that there are people who really, it's okay to talk about yourself. It's okay to ask for help. It's freaking okay. I don't think putting yourself on video and ranting to the internet and complaining and bitching and moaning about all your problems is the way to do it. I really don't. I think I maybe did that in the future. I'm not going to do that anymore, unless I'm giving you anecdotes of how I came out from that. But yeah, I just started feeling so much better. And that's what I could wish to anybody, man. Like, live for yourself, do for yourself, be for yourself, and yeah, just live the life that you want. Another thing that really helped me was I didn't realize that I kind of mapped the life out I wanted. I read this book I kind of shouted out before called Life on Air by Steve Cook, and it really talks about how the Americans live backwards. We plan our financials first, our job first, so it can pay for our life. And then eventually we can live this life. And it's like, you know, financials, life. And he's like, what if we think about reverse? What if we think about our life first, and then from there, figure out how much financials we need? Maybe we don't need 6 figures a year. What, you know what I'm saying? That Americans think we need. We need a big, better, you know, keep up the Joneses. If that's you, do you. Hey, man, I'm just talking about myself, man. Don't be coming on my shit telling me, oh, I love this shit. Get off my shit, man. God damn. I'm over here saying that's not how I feel. I'm not attached to material possessions anymore. You know, I love, you know, a good car and a nice house, XYZ. But anyway, what I did was like, what life do I like to live? I'm a very frugal guy. If you're not frugal, again, cool, awesome. Figure it out for your subjective self too. I'm not that frugal. I'm very frugal. I don't really care I like to travel and do vacations, but like I like to travel in a car, and I don't care about the hotel, and I do it really cheap. I like the beach more than I like a theme park, right? So I do it really cheap. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I'm a pretty cheap guy. I used to think I wanted to make millions of dollars, like that's what I needed to make. Why? See how much work comes with doing that? If that happens, great, man. If that happens, awesome. But for me to solely fixate on that, I was going crazy with how much work I thought I needed to do. I don't need to do that work. Again, if you want to do that work, do you, baby. I'm all about empowerment to be an individual, baby. Do you? Not how I'm going to do it, though. Not how I'm going to do it. So I realized that. And then from there, I planned my life. My financial, I mean. I planned my life first, and then from there, I draw, like, so how much financials do I need to supplement this? How much financials do I need to save 20% a year, 30% a year, whatever I want it to be, whatever you want it to be, and then pay for this life that I want to live? Oh my God. It's that low. It was absurdly low. Literally, I live in central Minnesota, and like basically the life that I want to live, like dead ass for a bachelor, it was like $28,000 is what these calculators show. And then I did a bunch of Excel charts myself. And again, do this for yourself. I'm not doing it for you. I did this for myself, took the time. You don't want to take the time, then, hey, you do you, baby. And literally I found out what I needed, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, I do DoorDash right now. I'm like, bro, if I drove for 40 hours a week, I could make that. I'm like, I don't need a job more than DoorDash? Are you serious? And then I'm like, okay, so let's get back to making videos, man. So now I'm finishing up school. I got a Christmas break right now, and that's why I'm going to be freaking going through the roof with this content. I got much more time, and then it'll be my last semester, but it's a pretty easy semester, so I'm able to make content too. There's going to be no more breaks for me ever again, man. I'm not in a super toxic positive level. I'm not even a super positive level, man. I'm just like, I'm doing this for me. You look at me, man. I'm not like, I'm not all sunshine and rainbows, man. This world is a, I know you already know this, but the world ain't all full of sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you get here. It's about how hard you can get here and keep moving forward. How much it can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now if you know what you're worth, and go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits. And not saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. You're better than that. You're my son, and I'm always gonna love you. But you gotta be willing to take the hits. Don't forget to visit your mother. Oh shit! Oh shit, that was probably the worst Stallone of all time, but I actually think that was dead ass on. Mitchell Dale, if you're listening to this, I know you'll appreciate that. I remembered that speech for him. Oh my God, in like 10th grade. Like Rocky Balboa, where he's talking to his son. Oh, it was hell yeah. Oh, I still remember that. Yeah, I know the world is full of just misery, man. Look at COVID and selection, man. It just taught me all that. But it's like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Every day's gonna be tough. If there's anything I did take away, I don't love him that much. If there's anything I do take away from David Goggins, it's the fact that, yo, man, you gotta just persevere through all that hardship, man. It's not cliche. You just gotta keep going, bro. You just gotta push through. So I'm not on a high like, oh, well, wait till this guy comes down from his high. Wait till this guy, is sad again. Then he'll stop. No, I'm as sad as I was 20 years ago. It's just like, it's 20 days ago. It's just different now. It's like, all right, keep going, man. You got to keep pushing. You just got to keep doing. Because what the thing was, right, it's up and downs. It's a trough. It's ebbs and flows. It's the tide. The thing was, if I do really bad things on my downs, if I just be very self-destructive, then when I finally come up again, I regret it all. And it's like, shit. All right, so maybe if I can't even get my highs that high, right anymore, like, because it's all inverted. So the lower your lows get, I do think the higher highs can get. So if I could just manage to keep my lows not that low, then yeah, I think invertedly, actually my highs can't get that high. Thinking of a pendulum, right? From swinging from a 0 to a 10, I think, you have to feel, in order to feel a 10 of a high, you have to have had experienced a 0. And if you're only a person who doesn't suffer that much, you're only a person who pendulum swings to a mere 4, that's your low, then you can only really feel a high of 6. And I think that's kind of more the way to live. At least that's the way I'm doing. I think me and Dawson Pittman kind of talked about that. Just kind of feeling, not being at 100 every day. Like, that's kind of fake. Yeah, that's why drugs win. That's why drugs win on their elation and their euphoria, but that's why they lose, because their come downs are so bad. Because again, you experience such a high 10 that you have to experience a low. And because you experience that low, you're able to feel that 10 again. And I'm like, dude, I'm okay if I never see a 10 again. I don't know, maybe it's less as my wedding day, or, hold my baby again. I'm not. I'm so optimistic. I'm okay if I never feel a 10 again. Bro, chilling at a solid 6 and then maybe swinging up to an 8. An 8 is a good place to be. To me, 10 is like fake land. It's like a 10 woman. They're not real. A 10 is not real. They're not. They don't exist in the wilderness, in nature, anywhere. They're not. And so I don't think a 10 really exists in life, is less through fakeness. You really want to feel a 10, so you just think your way into a 10, or you take drugs and alcohol and they push you into a 10. I heard a quote about alcohol the other day. Getting drunk is borrowing tomorrow's happiness. I think that may be true about any drug though, man. Literally, getting fucked up is borrowing tomorrow's happiness, because you're going to be so high on serotonin and dopamine, and then the next day your serotonin and dopamine levels are going to be so freaking low. So no, I'm not on a high. I'm doing fine. I'm going to keep pushing through, so there's going to be no more breaks of videos for me. This is it, man. This is my shit. I've been making videos since I was 6 years old. I've got videos of me and my sister doing joke videos. We're going to show those on the channels too, man, and laugh about that. I haven't watched those in years, but I've been making videos on, on flip cams. I don't know if you ever had those. They were like a little flip cams, and they literally were just little camera things, and then you could push out like a USB, and then you could just eject it within there. That's how I did it. It had like oh my God, like a 8 gigabyte. It was horrible. There was no storage whatsoever. And I broke them all the time because I didn't properly eject them. I would just pull them out, and then they would break. Couldn't even use them again. I went through like 5 of them. And then when the first iPad came out, I was making videos off that. It's like, I know it's something I love to do. Again, maybe it's attention. Maybe I didn't get enough love. Whatever. I don't care. I love to do it. It makes me feel good. And as long as my videos are respectful, like I said, man, I don't care. I love doing them. I love doing them with my friends, love doing it with my family, love doing it with people, man. I just love making videos. Again, like I said, I get bored on a certain topic, but making videos in general, comedy in general, health in general, I don't really get bored talking and doing those things. I love those things. And so that will always be coming. That's what this podcast is gonna be. Yeah, I'm just not I'm doing it. I love it. I love that I'm doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. And that's what I said. I really feel and hope that everyone else feels that way. Or whatever your thing is, man. If you want to make music, if you want to travel the world, I know that sucks right now for a lot of people. Trust me. I mean, I didn't plan on traveling until I graduated, so hopefully everything's cleared up by May. Trust me. But if it impacts me, that would really suck. And it might. Who knows, man? This stuff's totally crazy. But, yeah, 2020... show me anything, man. Like, flip my life completely upside down. You have no idea what tomorrow could bring. Live for yourself, I don't have much expectations at all no more. I'm living pretty chill. I'm really just feeling chill. Optimistic? Yes. Not pessimistic? No. Absolutely not pessimistic. Even with the election, even with the bipartisanship of this entire country, I'm still optimistic about it. I'm not elated. I'm not euphoric. I'm not like, oh my God, you just need to smile. You just need to smile. No. It's not that simple, not that easy, it's not that cliche. But I am still optimistic about the future and how everything is. I don't, look what happened with the election. I remember people like, oh my God, no matter which way it goes, there should be anarchy in the streets. And maybe they're still planning anarchy. Maybe because Trump lost, right? Maybe the white supremacists are like planning something that's going to hit hard when he leaves us. I don't know. I highly doubt it. Again, I don't think people are inherently bad, man. I think people just look for something to follow. And if you look at our country right now, it's 50-50, right? You look at the election results, it's 50-50. Most people believe this thing, other people believe this thing. It's like, wow, we will get back to a common ground, but right now we don't have common ground leaders. That's the thing. We don't have common ground pushers. You got to be over here, you got to be over here. We need common ground leaders, common ground pushers. And I think, honestly, with myself here, stop caring, not caring what other people think about you. I think that'll help leading to. I think we really care about what other people think about us. Let me go into this a little bit. Let me ring you. Let me see what you think about this. I was talking to a friend yesterday about why we care so much about what people think about us. I really like psychology and neurology and neuroscience, right? I love that shit. Dr. Andrew Huberman, I love Jordan Peterson, clinical psychiatrist. I love Sam Harris. He's a woke thinker. Not a woke thinker. I hate that word. I'm literally going to cut off my tongue right now that I said that. I'm upset. No, he's a great thinker, and I like you think, and many, many other people. However, none of them are evolutionary psychologists where this theory comes from, but evolutionary psychologists would argue that it's because most of our human existence, right, Homo sapiens, we've lived in hunter-gatherer culture, hunter-gatherer societies. Within a hunter-gatherer society, you need to know your rank. Not just your rank, you need to know your place. You need to know if you're pulling your weight. Because if you're not pulling your weight or you're not liked within the society, they take you out to the hunt and you don't come back. You hear me? You don't come back. Your head gets cut off, or you get killed, or you just get kicked out and gone. Die. What is that? Year one? Remember Year One with Jack Black and the guy from Arrested Development. I can't remember. Michael Cera, and Jack Black. That was a good movie. He got kicked out. I can't remember what he got kicked out for. I think being with a woman. I don't remember. But that's what they did. So it was really important for you to know. So your brain is evolutionarily wired and evolved. Your brain has evolved to care what other people think about you within the society. Obviously, we don't need to care about that no more. Billionaires, jerk-ass, rude, horrible people are billionaires and millionaires, right? Back in the day, if you act like them, you didn't want to share, you were selfish, we would kill you. 10,000, 50,000 years ago, hunter-gatherer cultures would slit your throat. Be like, all right, you don't want to share, you don't want to pull your weight, well, we're killing you. You're done. You pull your weight or you're out. They were ruthless. They were real. And now, because it's money, we can't fuck them up. What are you going to do? You try to cut their heads off? I'm not running towards them. They got the militia and all the guns that we don't need. I ain't doing that. I ain't messing with nobody. So it's kind of like, we don't really need to worry about that no more. But yet, it still sits with us because we've evolved to think that way. I don't know if that's true. That's what they argue. I think that's a very... I think that argument has a lot of merit to it. I think that sounds very logical. So who knows? I don't know. But there's a little food for your thought. That's what I want to think about. A little, just pin you there, ring your brain a little bit. But yeah, I don't know what else I'm gonna keep talking about. I don't know how long these podcasts are gonna be. I don't know how frequently these podcasts are gonna be. Like I said, I don't know what these podcasts are going to individually be about. I'm just gonna keep doing it, man. There may not have been a lot of vibes in this one, but because I was getting to the real shit. I want y'all to see, and hopefully get you to know, man, too, like, hopefully your parent, I don't know, people got different situations, but like, hopefully you have somebody around you, and if you don't find people around you that really do care about you, I don't know, you maybe need one or two. Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know how much you need, but just find them. Find them, I'm gonna be respectful, be respectful and kind, right? This is what works for me. Again, I'm not telling you to do this. You don't have to do this, I guess, but like, anecdotally, this worked for me. Being respectful, being as kind as much as possible, caring and valuing my core people, and then doing me, living for me, not feeling to have to explain myself, being unapologetic about who I am, and then just not caring at the end of the day, right? Just not caring. Well, the one last topic I want to talk about, as I see my screen now, and what I looked about on Google before, and I talked about not caring. Doesn't mean you're not caring about people, just you don't let their opinions affect your self-worth. And the second part, which I was going to get to, and I want to get to here is, and this goes for positive statements as well. Yes, it is nice to receive compliments and praise, but do not connect this to your self-worth. I absolutely believe that. That actually really works with me. Again, I preach, I own shit. If you don't want to do this, I don't care, man. Just get off my stuff, bro. Just get it off. I'm not going to mess with that stuff no more. I'm not messing with negative people, bro. It doesn't matter to me. Just don't waste your time watching this stuff. If you don't like it, don't waste your time. I know you got better time to do something else, man. Go jack off for something. I don't care. Go make some money, dude. Go drink some beer. Go have some beers. Just get off my stuff. Save your time and energy. Damn, I always get so distracted on those things. I just get so fixated on it. I forget what I'm actually talking about. But yeah, I truly believe that you also can't, I think Gary Vee talks about this, but that's another time. I don't want to talk about Gary Vee. But he's talked about before is that you can't, I don't care The reason he doesn't care, he says like, the reason I don't care that,
The reason I don't care that people dislike me is because I actually don't care that people like me either. Cool, you like my shit? Cool. I don't care.
however he talks. But that has a lot of merit to me, and it really works for me. It's just not caring what other people think, good or bad. Just being like, oh, that's awesome. You like my shit? That's cool, man. But that self-worth has to come from you. It's all internal. It's internal for Marsh, and it's going to be internal for Marsh the day he dies. And that's what really, really, really works for me. I never want to say, and I hate when people say you, and it has to be, because who knows anything, right? Who knows anything, really? But I feel it has to be internal and come with you. I like my videos. I like making them. I like doing them. I laugh at them. I have fun. I care about them. Outside that, so why should I let anything externally affect how I view those? I do not care. Yes, I don't want to drink my own Kool-Aid. Yes, I will ask people who do watch them, enjoy them, what they do, constructively, what they do enjoy and what they don't enjoy. Yeah, I ask that stuff. I want feedback. I don't want to sip my own Kool-Aid and just, inflate my head and my ego. No, I want to get better. However, I'm going to be proud of the work I do and not care how many likes and views I get. And that's going to affect my self-worth and self-esteem. It's here. I worked on it. I had to step away for 6 months. First off, I've been trying to work on it my entire life. Really intensely for the last 3 years, and then super intensely, supersonic speed these last 6 months. And I've been doing a lot of work. I hope, people who used to listen to me can tell and see the change. I know my mom can, and I can feel the change. And if you can't, I don't really care. As I said, I don't care. But yeah, I think that self-worth has to come with inside. And, if people like me, that's really cool. That's awesome. I like being around people. I like people. But I really don't care if they like my stuff. I don't know. I don't care for a compliment. It's nice to have, but it's just like, I'm not searching for that. I compliment myself. I tell myself how awesome I am. I tell myself how much I like my shit. I tell myself how, great I think I am. It took a while. It took a lot of my grandma telling me that. It took a lot of my mom telling me that. A lot of my core friends telling me that. Years of them telling me that for me to really realize that. So I'm not telling you it's overnight. Nothing's easy in this world, but I think it's that simple. But it's not, I think it's that straightforward, but I don't think it's that simple to go about it. I think it is difficult to go about it. I think it's a very winding, labyrinth-like path. But I think it's pretty straightforward. I think you just have to find and keep working until you get it within. Oh, that's the last thing I'm going to say about with my health. That is my new thing. I wanted to find out the niche I can fill within my profession. And whatever it is, man, I think this right here we talked about not caring and kind of self-worth. But like when it comes to health and stuff and the nutrition, my whole goal with making my videos with the educational factor, I want to entertain too, but like the educational factor is to educate you, to empower you to be your own health professional. I don't want you to have to keep reaching out to nutritionists. You can do a little trial and error with yourself by just knowing the basics of a nutritional structure. I'll get into a lot of videos on that, right? Just knowing what are the things, the main ingredients of nutrition to really, fixate on. And you can just experiment with yourself. It'll take years. It'll take a while for you to find out the right diet. It would take a nutritionist to find out too, man. They have a little bit more education, but they don't know you specifically, right? So the time it takes them to figure out you specifically, you actually already know. So the time it would take you both to figure out the exact diet for you, it's damn near equal. So don't waste your money on it. I really feel that way. I feel like nutritionists should be empowering you, to be able to do it yourself. And that's what I'm going to try and do. Like I said, nutrition is going to be my main thing, and then nutrition's number one, and then wellness in general, and then wellness. We'll talk about sleep and talk about exercise, but I'm not getting in depth about those. Nutrition is what I'm going to do my master's in. So nutrition is what I want, and then wellness. Those are the two things. But yes, empowering you to be your own nutrition dietary expert and your own wellness expert. You can check in with yourself every day. How are you feeling spiritually, physically, mental, emotionally? XYZ. That's what I have right here. I literally have this new theory I talk about is how's your gas tank today? And I check myself every morning. Where is my gas tank? Again, so much content, so much more explanation about those things coming. I really hope you guys, do enjoy that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys got away, learned a little bit from it. I hope you guys feel And I hope you just love yourself, really. And it sounds so cliche, but I hope it comes with, it's an internalized self-worth, it's internalized self-esteem, and you just keep living life for you. Whatever you enjoy, do it, man. Oh my God, there's a billion different things to do. Whatever you like, man, live for yourself. So much more stuff coming. So much more podcasts coming. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know, man. It's just going to be coming. It's going to be oozing out of me. I don't even know. But I really appreciate it. I don't even know how I'm going to end these things, man. Just say, see ya.